Hey guys, welcome back. This is Neon. This is Clownfish TV. This is about the Alyssa Wong tweet supposedly attacking Stan Lee being fake. It's supposedly fake. So we're going to backpedal here a little bit because we haven't talked about the Alyssa Wong situation here on Clownfish TV, about the offending tweet about Alyssa Wong herself working for Marvel and why people jump to this conclusion and how all of this came about. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants here on Clownfish TV. We really appreciate the support you guys have shown us over the last few months. In particular, it's been awesome. Thank you so much. We want to shift more time to bringing you more content here on Clownfish TV. And your subs, your likes, your upvotes, your shares, all of that helps us do that. So thank you so much for that. So Alyssa Wong was accused of putting a tweet out last year telling Stan Lee to go F himself, or F Stan Lee rather, because at that point Stan Lee had died. So let's go out and see what this supposed tweet consisted of, and then talk about how this supposed tweet is supposedly fake. So again, coming from Bounding in the Comics, here's how it started. Alyssa Wong has been hired by Marvel by CB Cebulski after she called out CB Cebulski as being a racist for using a Japanese pen name when he worked overseas in Marvel overseas. That was a big deal about a year or so ago after CB Cebulski was announced as the new editor of Marvel. People were trying to get him ousted immediately, saying that he was guilty of cultural appropriation, that he was a racist, you know, all the usual names. And Cebulski came in strong. He came in strong when he came in as the editor-in-chief of Marvel after Axel Wanzo was chopped. And he started trimming the books. He started chopping the books that did not sell. A lot of the books that longtime Marvel fans had issues with, for one reason or another, got the axe on Cebulski's watch. However, this came out that he was using a Japanese pseudonym. And being current year, or being 2018, it was not okay. In 2017, rather, it was not okay that he do that, and his enemies were chomping at the bit to call him out for that. One of those was Alyssa Wong, as I understand it. So now she's working for Marvel under CB Cebulski. So strange, strange how that works out. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about this tweet first, and then we'll go back to her working for Marvel and how all of this sort of spiraled out of control on the internet. So this is apparently what the story was. And I saw there were YouTube videos out there. I saw there were tweets out there. I was actually out of town yesterday and we didn't cover it. And really I was kind of like, God, I don't know, this one sounds kind of fishy. We didn't touch it. We didn't cover it. And sure enough, it turned out to be fake. So this was the initial story. Marvel Comics writer Alyssa Wong allegedly says F Stan Lee. Now, she came out, let's see, yesterday and said that some tweets circulating or falsely attributed to her, those are not my words. I have enormous respect for Stan Lee and his legacy, and I wouldn't be working for Marvel if I didn't. Here's what the alleged tweet was. F Stan Lee. So what if he's dead? He's still a racist thief and an appropriator of culture, just like that jerk Cebulski. If I ever work at Marvel, I'll tear down as much of Stan Lee's so-called legacy as possible. Anybody who had any desire to work for Marvel would not put that tweet out there on the day that Stan Lee died. In fact, they would not put that tweet out there at all. Well, you know what? I would like to think that they wouldn't make tweets like that if you want to work for a company. But given the way some of these people are on the internet, some of these creators are on the internet, it actually wouldn't surprise me if they tweeted something like that and subsequently expected to work for that company and then acted surprised when they got backlash when people dug this information up. So that wouldn't surprise me. But I just thought, you know, that just, I don't know. It's too on the nose. We did not touch it. And sure enough, it turns out that it's supposedly fake. Now, there were a bunch of YouTube videos made about it. A lot of people, you know, sort of questioned the legitimacy of this tweet. There's just a lot of things about it that just seemed very, very odd. But the fact that we live in a time where this coming from a comics creator would not be surprising at all. is very, very sad, because we've seen comics creators put out some really heinous tweets and continue to get work. You know, I don't know Alyssa Wong. I have no idea what she's like in person. I can't vouch for her, but you know, we have seen other creators put out some really trash tweets and continue to get work in the comic book industry. That's kind of the way it works now. So, you know, people bought into it. They bought into it. And apparently it was incorrect. Alleged Alyssa Wong tweet attacking Stan Lee appears to be fake. This is coming from Bounding in the Comics. And the alleged tweet from Marvel Comics writer Alyssa Wong attacking Stan Lee appears to be fake. The alleged tweet from Wong, which circulated throughout the internet as well as on Bounding in the Comics, was dated on the day of Stan Lee's death last year. The tweet appeared to begin circulating after Bounding in the Comics published an article detailing that Wong was hired by Marvel Comics after she accused Marvel Comics editor-in-chief C.B. Cebulski of being a racist. Not only had Wong attacked C.B. Cebulski, but as a social media tracking website Social Blade points out, Wong deleted over 40,000 tweets in December of 2018, including the ones attacking Cebulski. A lot of people, when they work for a company like Disney or Marvel, Lucasfilm, whatever, this seems to be the new normal, is that they purge their tweet history, because we're seeing now that people can dredge up tweets from 3, 4, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and use them against you. Even if you're a totally different person or claim to be a totally different person, your internet history tends to follow you wherever you go, and people have no problem keeping receipts now and throwing it back in your face at the worst possible time. This one, however, does seem to be fake. Wong issued a statement on Twitter denying she had issued the tweet. We talked about that. Not only did Wong deny the alleged tweet, but Twitter user Data Racer also pointed out a number of discrepancies with the alleged tweet. Yeah, it was fishy. It was very fishy. Data Racer notes that the alleged tweet does not have any handle emojis next to her name. It uses the same user pics as fake tweeter. And when you do an advanced Twitter search for tweets mentioning Wong's handle on Twitter on November 12th, there are none that show up. Twitter user Kaiser Leo, who had previously engaged with Wong in November of 2017 and whose response to one of her deleted tweets was initially used to support the idea that the tweet was real, believes the tweet is fake. So someone who actually interacted with her believes the tweet is fake. Kaiser Leo spoke with One Angry Gamer, where he stated, "Yes, now that the heads are cooled down, I believe someone did say it, but not her. So far, I think it's a case of misdirection." It could be. It could have been one of her followers. Like I said, you know, if you want to work for Marvel, you know, saying things like that and then going to try to get a job at Marvel Comics, that just does not look good. It doesn't look good. One of her followers could have said it, you know. It's totally possible. It's totally possible. I would reach out to Kaiser Leo as well. He definitely told me the image of the tweet is fake. He added, "My response was for another tweet." We concluded it was made up in order to get people to rail up on both sides. Yes, and that's what this is about. Bleeding Cool's Rich Johnston would also report, "We've been told by Marvel representatives that while there were earlier tweets that did come up and were discussed, the Stan Lee fake tweet did not." So that's interesting that actually Marvel, because of this, Marvel probably went through her Twitter history to see if there was anything else that was problematic. And if she was dumping on CB Cebulski, and she's working for CB Cebulski now, that's not a very good look. And it's totally possible. It's totally possible that she got hired, and you know, look, nobody is able to keep track of every tweet every person or every potential hire makes. I'm sure people at Marvel are very, very busy. If she made tweets attacking Marvel or attacking CB Cebulski, it is very possible nobody at Marvel and CB Cebulski himself, you know, never actually saw these tweets. So he could have hired her, not realizing that she was, you know, bad-mouthing him in public. And then once this broke out, they went back and looked at her tweets and were like, "Oh yeah, here 2 years ago, she's calling CB Cebulski out for being a racist. Oh, that's awkward. That's really awkward that she's doing that." So here's what she supposedly said. These were deleted tweets. Here's what she supposedly said about CB Cebulski using the Akira Yoshida pen name. She said it was anti-Asian racism. Now, those tweets have been deleted, but they're archived because the internet never forgets. A couple thoughts on CB Cebulski, Akira Yoshida before I step away from social media for a while. People are complicated. Effed up doesn't cancel out the good work someone has done. But good work / well, he's a really good guy also doesn't erase the harm someone's done. This is when you get a ton of shocked, well, he was really nice to me reactions every time someone's ugly shit gets exposed. Their being nice shouldn't give them immunity to having to face their problematic behavior. I do believe that she's probably facing some of her own problematic behavior right now, even though that tweet was fake. There's a difference between, Asian discourse and when they talk about anti-Asian racism and the pressure to assimilate. So people who are repeat offenders often mask bad behavior with intentional niceness. This is true. This is true. They do folks favors. They make connections. They appear generous. They do this so that when shit comes to light, they know they'll be protected. One way you can take concrete action in response to the CB Cebulski bullshit is to let Marvel know how effed up it is. Put pressure on him by making your voices heard. And then, just as importantly, if not more, support actual Asian comics creators. Actual Asian comics creators. So yeah, she had some pretty harsh words for CB Cebulski, and she's apparently working for him now. This probably did come out, which is why she deleted a ton of her tweets. And again, this particular tweet, the Stan Lee tweet, is absolutely fake. And, I think people just want to stir the shit. This is why they create stuff like this. And, that's kind of what they're doing. But it did lead to apparently some other repercussions. And I think people just need to be really freaking careful on social media. They need to be very, very careful on social media, especially if you're going to court a company, especially if you're going to go work for Marvel, a DC, but we've seen that a lot of comics pros don't have filters. They don't have filters. So again, that tweet is fake, but it would not have surprised me if it was real, not because of Alyssa Wong being Alyssa Wong, but because comics creators today do not have a filter and they say some really, really dumb shit. So if you're going to say some really, really dumb shit, you're better off to say it privately than to go out to Twitter, because we've seen time and time and time again, past tweets will bite you in the ass hard at the worst possible time. So you're going to have to watch what you say if you want to work for these companies. Ask Chuck Wendig how that's working for him. That being said, every time something like this comes up and it becomes a big deal, if your radar goes off, if your spider sense is tingling, there's no harm in looking into something and being like, I don't know, that doesn't feel right. Let's look into this and see if it's true. Just because you want something to be true, just because it's, scandalous and it makes for good clickbait doesn't mean it's actually true. So if you have your doubts, absolutely look into something. And that's on the, whatever side of the fence you're on regarding the quote unquote pop culture wars. Both sides are slinging shit at each other, and you have to sort through all of that to get to what the truth is. So that's our take on it. Apparently we missed all the drama. Thankfully we didn't do a video talking about her awful tweet that didn't actually exist. So we will keep covering pop culture news and views here on Clownfish TV, the good and the bad. So please subscribe for more of that. This has been Neon. We'll talk later. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.